Hello, I'm Laura Duchessi, President and CEO of the Scranton Area Community Foundation, and I'd like to thank you for joining us for this evening's Women in Philanthropy Annual Event. I want to thank you for bearing with us as we address some technology issues. In today's virtual environment, I think we're all learning and we're all accommodating of how we can still connect with each other, so we appreciate you bearing with us. And for those that weren't able to connect with us live tonight, we're going to have this recorded so you can view at your convenience. Because today we're celebrating all of you, our generous supporters of the mission of Women in Philanthropy, and the power that we have together to make transformative change through collective philanthropy. When we gathered our initial group of 12 women together 6 years ago, we knew we wanted to help women and girls break barriers, transform their lives, and lift themselves and their families out of poverty. Because of your support, Women in Philanthropy is in its 6th year of empowering the lives of women and girls in northeastern Pennsylvania and has nearly 100 supporters. And each year, the momentum and impact only increases. So join me in welcoming the Chairman of the Board of Governors of the Scranton Area Community Foundation, Ken Okrepke.
Well, thank you, Laura. And again, my name is Ken Okrepke, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as the board chair for the Scranton Area Community Foundation. On behalf of the Board of Governors, I want to welcome you to the virtual celebration of women in philanthropy as we transform and empower the lives of women and girls in our community. I know that you're well aware that we're celebrating the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment this year, but tonight we celebrate the accomplishments of two amazing women, Mary Pat Ward and Linda Robeson. So let me be the first to congratulate and thank them for their service to our community. So again, on behalf of the Board of Governors, I welcome you to this program and thank you for your support of the Women in Philanthropy program.
Thank you, Ken, and congratulations indeed. 2020 has been a very challenging year, as evidenced by the fact that we're having a virtual event this evening. But it's also the year that marks, as Ken mentioned, the 100th anniversary of women's right to vote, a critical mile marker in the long tradition of women coming together to create the change they'd like to see in the world. And I believe that Women in Philanthropy is an important point for our region along that trajectory of change. There's great power in collaboration and partnerships, and I believe that has and continues to be a hallmark of Women in Philanthropy. This year, Women in Philanthropy has forged a powerful partnership with Women's Whistle Stop Scranton. Women's Whistle Stop Scranton is celebrating the women who fought for the 19th Amendment, women's right to vote, and the century of progress since then, all while raising money for women and girls in northeastern Pennsylvania. So together, Women in Philanthropy and Women's Whistle Stop Scranton has highlighted the importance of civic engagement in so many impactful ways in our communities. So this evening, we will take a look at this, along with other meaningful partnerships that Women in Philanthropy has established, which have resulted in a direct change in the lives of women and girls. And we will celebrate the accomplishments of Women in Philanthropy throughout this past year and beyond. From virtual STEAM education to COVID-19 relief funding, from the matched savings program to the Building Confidence Smiles dental initiative, and so much more, we have covered a lot of ground together. As we look at all of our collective achievements through Women in Philanthropy, the generosity and the resiliency of northeastern Pennsylvania is clearly on display. This generosity is truly remarkable. So let's take a look at some of the many accomplishments that we've achieved together. 2020 certainly has had its share of challenges, but thanks to the generosity of Women in Philanthropy supporters, lives are being transformed. Together, through the investment of time and financial resources, we are helping to lift women, girls, and their families out of poverty in so many impactful ways. Women in Philanthropy's long-standing focus on supporting entrepreneurship has included one-on-one mentorship support through the years, pairing established executives and professionals with new entrepreneurs. One of Women in Philanthropy's hallmark programs is its microloan program, which has helped over 14 low to moderate income women access the capital to launch and expand their businesses through the microloan program. Remarkably, any interest paid on the loan goes directly into an escrow account to help women build their savings to have an extra cushion for their businesses. We are grateful to have received an additional $100,000 in microloan capital from People's Security Bank to continue the successful program of supporting eligible, new, and growing women-owned businesses through 2021. This year, Women in Philanthropy stepped up to respond to many economic implications of the COVID-19 crisis by establishing the Business Relief Fund, which provided nearly $16,000 in mini grant funding to 21 local women-owned small business in Lackawanna County. This grant funding helped women deal with unplanned hardship situations caused by the COVID-19 crisis. Grant recipients are encouraged to pay it forward when financially able, to help support and empower other women and girls in northeastern Pennsylvania. Women in Philanthropy has always prioritized the importance of helping women to become financially confident, establishing a dollar-for-dollar match savings program that helps to prevent the crisis situations that women and their families may encounter when facing an emergency expense, such as a family illness, health expense, or unexpected car or home repair. To date, nearly 50 women have graduated from the successful program and have saved over $220,000, half of which was provided by Women in Philanthropy and matching funds. Through a financial confidence curriculum developed by Women in Philanthropy supporters in conjunction with the Kenya School of Management at the University of Scranton, Women in Philanthropy has facilitated financial education for over 200 low to moderate income women. And this education continued in a virtual environment this year. The skills, talent, and generosity of our Women in Philanthropy supporters are critical for providing this invaluable financial training. Women in Philanthropy supports access to affordable health care for women and families in Lackawanna County and recognizes the importance of wellness and self-esteem. Through establishing a council of dental health professionals, Women in Philanthropy launched the Building Confident Smiles program in conjunction with Scranton Primary Health, with the goal of improving access to restorative dental care for women. Building Confident Smiles helps uninsured or underinsured women in the region who cannot afford expensive restorative care such as crowns, bridges, and dentures. 13 women are enrolled in the program to date, receiving the case management, support, and restorative dental care they need to more confidently enter the workforce and advance economically by improving their health and well-being. Women in Philanthropy has focused on ways to make transportation more accessible for those needing both health services and a reliable way to access more job opportunities. This year, working through NEPA Moves in conjunction with Colts and the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce, a new bus route was established enabling reliable access to the Mid-Valley Industrial Park, providing an opportunity for many more women and their families to access employment. When it comes to workforce development, Women in Philanthropy has prioritized addressing the shortage of women in science, technology, engineering, art, and math, STEAM education-related careers. Through a program instituted and supported by Women in Philanthropy and the Harry and Jeanette Weinberg Foundation, students in several K-12 public schools in Lackawanna County receive hands-on, project-based STEAM education through the Manhattan-based Salvadori Center. To date, over 3,000 students have participated, learning critical thinking skills crucial to finding success in college and the workforce. Every year, Women in Philanthropy continues to bridge the STEAM gap for girls by fostering an interest in and by providing relevant, quality STEAM education. Another way Women in Philanthropy is bridging the gap of girls and women in STEAM fields is through providing a pathway to higher education and to rewarding careers by reducing barriers such as the rising cost of college. 5 students in public schools in Lackawanna County entering into a STEAM-related field were each awarded over $6,000 in scholarship funding to participate in the Level Up STEAM Stars program at Lackawanna College. These scholarships enable these high-achieving students to obtain their associate's degree by the time they graduate from high school. 2 students have successfully graduated from the program this year, and 3 other scholarship recipients are entering their senior year. We look forward to hearing about their successes in the near future. Through the generosity of Women in Philanthropy supporters, WIP provides annual grant funding for charitable organizations focusing on assisting women and girls in specific priority areas. This year alone, Women in Philanthropy was able to provide $25,000 in COVID-19 relief grant funding to support a variety of timely needs. While many women and their families began overseeing education in the home due to the impacts of COVID-19, Women in Philanthropy was there to respond. WIP funded quality virtual programming, allowing students to continue their STEAM education even when they are unable to do so in person. 3 COVID-19 relief grants were provided to support STEAM programming through the Northeastern Educational Intermediate Unit, Boys and Girls Club of Northeastern Pennsylvania, and Keystone College. Programs ranged from arts and education to project-based science. Women in Philanthropy's COVID-19 relief grants were also provided to the Women's Resource Center, the Children's Advocacy Center of Northeastern Pennsylvania, and Outreach Center for Community Resources, as the need for their critical services to help women, girls, and their families became greater than ever during the pandemic. Breaking down the barriers that make it difficult for women, girls, and their families to transform their lives is at the core of Women in Philanthropy. Throughout the year, Women in Philanthropy partnered with Women's Whistle Stop Scranton to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, the women's right to vote. Like so many other events this year, the in-person celebration had to be postponed, but that didn't stop Women's Whistle Stop and Women in Philanthropy from moving forward to support gender equality education and purposes related to ensuring women's rights. Through hosting a webinar focused on elevating community voices through voter education and the development of a voter education public service announcement, civic engagement took an important focus. Women's Whistle Stop Scranton has worked hard to plan a celebration befitting this 100-year milestone, and we look forward to celebrating with them next year. So as we look forward to 2021, we do so with the strength of nearly 100 Women in Philanthropy supporters and over 25 community partners. Women in Philanthropy supports charitable investment in entrepreneurship, financial education, STEAM education, healthcare, transportation access, and civic engagement. And we're working together to help women and girls lift themselves and their families out of poverty. Thank you for your commitment and generosity to Women in Philanthropy. Your support and commitment to Women in Philanthropy is the reason why we've been able to make strides in the area of financial confidence, entrepreneurship, STEAM education, transportation, and dental health. We are fortunate that in addition to this long-standing critical support, we're seeing new Women in Philanthropy supporters continually committing to our collective efforts every month. And we strive to make sure we're always engaging these new supporters as we continue to innovate how we work together to empower women, girls, and their families. So I'd like to welcome our new Women in Philanthropy supporters that have joined us over the past year. Leanna Ortiz, Jolene Carey Pace, Brittany Cesarini, Jacob Westcott, and Elizabeth Whitco. And I'd also like to acknowledge our supporters that have completed their generous 5-year pledge commitment to date. Supporters who have completed their 5-year commitment to date include Donna Barbetti, Susan Beelan, Betty Burns, Kathleen Graff, Barbara O'Hara, Mary Rhodes, Kathy Ann Hardaway, Kate Hollett, Andrea Mulrine, Rosemary Broderick, Dee Dee Tersteeg, Beverly Duchessi, Laura Duchessi, Lisa Durkin, Patricia Fox, Natalie Gelb, Katie Gilmartin, Judith Graziano, Dana Hunter, Gretchen Lutters, Sandra Myers, Natalie O'Hara, Pat Rossetti, Elaine Shepard, Donna Simpson, Kirsten Smith, Alexandra Yantorn, Kate Erie, and the Hawk Family Foundation and the Moses Taylor Foundation. On behalf of the Scranton Area Community Foundation Board of Governors and our Women in Philanthropy co-chairs Rosemary Broderick and Susan Beelan, I thank you all for your generosity and continued commitment. The spirit of generosity is notable tonight as we recognize two women who embody many of the very best philanthropic qualities in women in northeastern Pennsylvania and beyond. We've all looked forward to this evening as we present both the Margaritaville Chamberlain Award and the Roseanne Smith Albright Award to Mary Pat Ward and Linda Robeson. Both the Margaritaville Chamberlain and the Roseanne Smith Albright Award funds were generously established by loved ones to honor the legacies and recognize the accomplishments of the truly remarkable women of which these awards are named after. And both award recipients so greatly exemplify their awe-inspiring characteristics. I hope you find inspiration in their incredible stories like I have. So I'd like to welcome Amy Betts from the Junior League to present the Roseanne Smith Albright Award.
Good evening. My name is Amy Betts, and I'm the president-elect of the Junior League of Scranton, and I'm thrilled to be here with you this evening. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Roseanne Smith Albright Award. The Roseanne Smith Albright Award was established by the Junior League of Scranton to recognize an outstanding female volunteer who exhibits the heart and spirit of Roseanne Smith Albright by demonstrating the capacity to lead, motivate, and inspire others in the community she serves. I am thrilled to introduce the 2020 recipient of the Roseanne Smith Albright Award, Linda Robeson. Those who nominated Linda share some things. Linda tends to fly under the radar, but her efforts and impact and influence do not go unnoticed. They share that she is selfless with her time, her energy, her resources, and continues to care for the community in which she lives. She remains true to herself and focuses on the end result, which always are the best interests of those she serves.
My name is Chris DiMatteo, and I'm past national president of Unico National, the largest Italian-American service organization in the country. And we're a part of the Scranton chapter. The Scranton chapter has partnered with Family to Family for many years, and the Robeson family, especially Linda, have been dear friends. Our motto is service above self, and I couldn't think of anyone that more epitomizes that motto than Linda Robeson. You know, it's wonderful that we were able to nominate her from the Roseanne Albright Memorial Award here at the Scranton Area Foundation. If it's service work in Haiti or baskets at Thanksgiving and holiday times for the needy people in our area, Linda steps up to the plate. We're very honored, and we thank you for all of your past work and your future contributions.
Linda serves as an active volunteer serving in various communities, including a role in the Family to Family program, Friends of the Poor Food Basket program in Scranton, an ambassador to the St. Luke's Foundation for Haiti, through the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, corresponding with those who have lost a firefighter in the line of duty. She also serves as the past president for St. Joseph Center Auxiliary, assisting in the festival, auction, and chicken dinner fundraisers. She currently serves on the board at St. Francis of Assisi Kitchen and Friends of the Poor. Linda has been involved most recently with the Friends of the Poor COVID-19 emergency food distributions in the region, which has served approximately 23,000 families since it began in March. And for all these reasons and more, Linda exhibits the heart and spirit of Roseanne. And it is my great pleasure to present to you the 2020 recipient of the Roseanne Smith Albright Award, the one and only Linda Robeson. And now I turn it over to you, Maggie Martinelli, president of the Junior League of Scranton, to present the award to Linda.
Congratulations, Linda, from the Junior League of Scranton.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Linda Robeson, and I am so incredibly honored to be receiving this Roseanne Smith Albright Award. To be honest, when I was called for the award, I was incredibly speechless because our area has so many incredible women who do amazing things for everybody. I've been inspired as a very young woman to get involved with different charities and stuff. I'm the oldest of 5 children, so of course you're always involved in doing things for others. As I've gotten older, I just feel like God has put so many good people into my life to inspire me and guide me on my way. I was fortunate to get involved, like I said, with a woman who went to Haiti and I've gone to Haiti about 9 times now. And when you look at a different country and the amount of things that they don't have that Americans have, that they're struggling for food, that they're struggling for clothing, that they're struggling for all these things, you're just so inspired to do something. And because of our community, after my husband was killed, the fire department helped me raise $35,000 to purchase an ambulance for Haiti. So I've been able to go down, and I've actually been in the ambulance. I've seen the work that it can do, and people continue to help me raise money for Haiti because there's always a need. Here locally in Scranton, if you've met the AIHM sisters, you know that once you meet any of them, you're going to be involved in everything that they do. So I am very involved with St. Joseph Center. My grandfather was president of the board many years ago, and he inspired me to work with children and to want to be around the children of St. Joe's. So I'm very involved with St. Joe's, which I absolutely love. One of the biggest things that we've been able to do, and especially this has been such a labor of love for me, is work with my son, with Family to Family. Brian inspires me every day as well to do better. But as God tells us, we have to take care of the poor and the hungry. And this has given us such an opportunity to do that. With COVID-19 this year, of course, it adds a whole different dimension, because where we were only doing our food giveaways at Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter, we have now completed our 21st food giveaway. Yesterday was our 21st emergency food giveaway. So, and we've fed, I know it's over 23,000 families, but I think it's almost like 80,000 people. So as we get ready for our new season, again, it's just such a joyful experience. I think one of the funniest things that has happened, that as we've been volunteering and people have been showing up, people are like, I never knew I could have so much fun. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't you have fun volunteering? It's just such a great experience. You meet the most incredible people no matter where you go, whether you're in country or out of country. You just meet amazing people. And the people that you are serving are just so grateful that you're able to do that. And one of the things that we've noticed, especially with Family to Family, is that one year people may have to come and stand in line for food or get some of our products. And the next year they're volunteering for us because they were just so amazed with how things run. I just feel so honored when I'm volunteering, because I've met so many amazing people who inspire me to do better and to do more. Like I said, people that I've been volunteering with have become my friends. People who call us and say that they want to help because they've seen what we're doing and they're seeing the good work that's being done with all the agencies. It just keeps you going, and it just wants you to continue to be better. And I understand that that's the way Roseanne was. And again, this is such an incredible honor. And I just want to say thank you very much. And thank you to all the people who have inspired me and supported me, because we don't do anything alone. I truly believe that all of the people who volunteer deserve an award like this. So thank you very much.
Congratulations, Linda, and thank you for your tireless dedication to the critical needs of our region. I'd like to remind everyone that we're live tonight, so thank you for sticking with us. I know a lot of you have through our early technological glitches. And I want to remind you that if you go ahead and refresh your page, the chat function is working, so you can go ahead and network and do all of the things, or at least most of the things, that we would hope for at a traditional Women in Philanthropy annual meeting. I'd also like to remind those of you that maybe know folks that couldn't get on tonight to the live feed that this is going to be recorded and will be available right after this event is live, so that anyone can watch it basically from the recording. So we'll move forward with that, but thank you all. So now I want to keep moving along with our important awards tonight, and I'd like to welcome Kathleen Graff and Ann McGregor to present the Margaretaville Chamberlain Award.
Hello, I'm Ann McGregor. I'm Margaretaville and Chamberlain's granddaughter, and I'm here to talk about the award in her name. Margaret has spent her entire life helping others and looking for creative ways to help people improve their lives and their communities. She patterned her life on the philosophy of, so long as we love, we serve. And it was her deep love of family, friends, and community, and her thirst for knowledge that drove her forward in all of these endeavors. Margareta met each day with an inner spirituality and a strong sense of purpose, allowing her to visualize answers where others saw obstacles, to be down in the trenches rather than in the grandstand, and to consistently meet adversity with grace and humor. This is how she will always be remembered. Congratulations to the 2020 recipient of the Margaritaville and Chamberlain Award, Mary Pat Ward, who clearly exemplifies so many of Margareta's wonderful qualities.
I'm Kathleen Graff, daughter of Margaritaville and Chamberlain, and happy to be here to give this award to Mary Pat Ward. She exemplifies, as my daughter said, all the qualifications and characteristics, and is an amazing person in her own right that is working to change the community and has been for many years. And she is very ennobled in terms of wanting to see other people, particularly young people, build their community.
My name is Krista Summers. I'm the Executive Director of the Catherine McCauley Center in Scranton. We're a nonprofit who helps homeless women and children, and we were honored to nominate Mary Pat Ward for the Margaretaville Chamberlain Award. We thought Mary Pat would be a great fit for this award the minute that we saw the email come from the Scranton Area Community Foundation asking in the subject line, "Do you know a dynamic woman?" Mary Pat fits the definition of a dynamic woman. Her positive attitude, her energy, her servant leadership, all are qualities that I think, combined with her tenacity and her willingness to help her community, fit that definition of dynamic. Mary Pat is a leader. We see that in her role in the city of Scranton. We've seen it in her role at the Catherine McCauley Center when she served on our board of directors and chaired our program effectiveness committee. We've seen Mary Pat overcome many obstacles when she came through our doors at the Catherine McCauley Center as a homeless mother, and she worked her way up to where she is today. Mary Pat's an inspiration to women overcoming obstacles and really women in our community who are looking to become strong leaders.
We are thrilled that she is a recipient this year. And thank all the people at the Scranton Area Foundation who continue to make this possible yearly. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. My name is Mary Pat Ward. I am the Deputy Director of the City of Scranton's Office of Economic and Community Development and co-founder of Izzy Sweet's Bake Sale. Wow. This award, the Margaretaville Chamberlain Award, is beyond anything I could ever imagine that I would be standing here speaking to you. I was homeless here in the city of Scranton in 2005 with my toddler daughter. Sorry. Being homeless here in the city of Scranton as a young mother with a toddler daughter was never something that I thought could possibly happen, but it did, and it's part of my story. But it was this very community that lifted me up in that time of need, that immense need that I had. I found myself at the Catherine McCauley Center. I was accepted into their shelter and into their transitional housing program, and it changed my life. I was able to find stable housing for my daughter and I. I was able to go to school and find a career. And that kind of leads me to where I am today. As I found stability, I knew I wanted to help people in need, just like I was helped. And so
I had the opportunity, a wonderful opportunity for over 8 years to work for the Women's Resource Center, who supports victims and survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. I was able to be on the board of directors for the Catherine McCauley Center. They hold a chair amongst an amazing rock star group of folks for past program participants. So they never go far from their mission, that the work that they do and the programs they do and the people that they serve are always close at hand. And now I get to work for the government, our local government, and in a way it's amazing to me because in my unique position, did I receive public services and was I not held up by this community? I had the opportunity to do direct service work by helping those in need, and now through the work that I do at the City of Scranton, I'm able to help fund those very programs that help people. The reason I kind of bring all of these things up is to share my story, because I think that's something we need to do more and we need to do better, is share ourselves, our more vulnerable selves, all the good and the bad that come with it. I think for me, in sharing my story, it shows that you don't have to be on the other side of something to help. You can very much be in the middle of it and still find a way to help others. For a very long time, I was just trying to pay my bills and take care of my daughter. But because of my career, I was still able to help people. Small kindnesses go a long way. And so to me, leadership is not just about taking the charge of a huge campaign or a huge program, but leadership is in the way that we treat others and the way that we show our children and our community how we can treat each other. There are so many opportunities in this world for us to do better and to care for others. And I hope and I strive to continue and hope to continue to do that in the work that I do each day. This award means so very much to me because it shows to me and to our community that those small things do matter. And I think our message needs to be that we notice you and that we see you and we see your story and we hear you and we're here for you. I had the opportunity to do some research in regards to the history of this award and the amazing women that received this award before me, and I am humbled by the thought that I could be a part of a group like that. Amazing women who, in all different amazing ways, found a way to be leaders in their community, in their programs, in the things that they did each day. And I am so very humbled and appreciative of that idea. There is a quote by Ayn Rand in Atlas Shrugged, and it talks to the idea that you don't have to let your soul perish in the swamps of the not yet, or the not quite, or the not have been, but that there's a possibility that anything could be yours. And I certainly hope to feel that in the work that I do each day, and I hope my message to all of you is that I appreciate all of you and that I see you and the work that you do matters. Thank you.
Hi, Mary Pat. On behalf of our nonprofit leadership program at the University of Scranton, we would like to say that you are the kind of representation that women and mothers can aspire to. This honor is indicative of your courageous character and vibrant personality. Congratulations and best wishes on life's adventures.
Congratulations, Mary Pat. I'm so happy for you.
Congratulations, Mary Pat. It's a pleasure to work with you with the Boys and Girls Clubs in the city of Scranton, and it's really glad to be part of the Green Group.
A well-deserved honor for you, Mary Pat. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mary Pat. You deserve it.
Mary Pat, you're the most authentic person I've ever had the privilege of meeting. You deserve this so much. Congratulations. You're amazing. We love you.
Congratulations, Mary Pat. There's nobody more deserving.
Congrats, Mary Pat. So well deserving, as everyone said. Couldn't be happier for you.
We're also proud of you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mary Pat. We're inspired and moved by your story, and we thank you for your remarkable contributions to our community. So as we look back at our 6 years of accomplishments at Women in Philanthropy, we're making sure that we are also positioned and ready to go forward, to be responsive and proactive in working to transform the lives of women and girls in our communities. And we want to ensure that we're adhering to the priorities that our supporters believe are the most critical and the most impactful. And that's why 2020 is a year of strengthening our strategic priorities. We have surveyed the entire group of Women in Philanthropy supporters and have brought this information back to our WIP leadership and founders. And this information includes preferred focus areas to prioritize going forward, whether we're maintaining the same or adding new, and preferred ways to connect and engage with each other. And this information will serve to ensure that our future strategies best reflect the goals of our supporters and includes best practices. This continued engagement that we have of bright, compassionate, philanthropic, and dedicated women in our communities has been a hallmark of our Women in Philanthropy efforts to date. And impactful, effective engagement remains a priority as we move forward. So I want to thank you for joining us this evening and for the support that has created so much positive change in the lives of women and girls and their families in northeastern Pennsylvania. And in the face of such a challenging year, we have a lot to celebrate. Before we close our evening together, we have a special announcement to make. So I'd like to welcome Susan Beelan, who has been so integral in the Women's Whistle Stop Scranton effort, as well as serving as our Women in Philanthropy co-chair, guiding our priorities for the past 6 years along with Rosemary Broderick. Susan has something special she'd like to share with us.
As a founding member of Women in Philanthropy, I am delighted to be able to join the meeting this evening to tell you a little bit about Women's Whistle Stop and our donation to Women in Philanthropy. Women in Philanthropy really focused more of my efforts on what's needed here in Scranton for women, and for that I am grateful. And one of the programs I got involved with was planning 3 years ago, planning for a community celebration of the 19th Amendment and women's suffrage and women's right to vote. That was 3 years ago, long before COVID. And we named our group Women's Whistle Stop because we decided to hold a major event in June of 2020 at Steamtown to celebrate the suffragists who campaigned across the country just as the male politicians did on the back of a caboose. And so the women doing their whistle stops across the country inspired us to do that. That was 3 years before COVID, and obviously our big event at Steamtown did not happen. And the good thing about that was that we were able to do a few very focused community education programs and we have more money left in our little fund to be able to contribute to an area nonprofit. We focused our programs between June and now, the end of October, on children's education and voter registration in Lackawanna County. In the children's programs, we had a coloring contest before COVID in conjunction with the Scranton Times. And unfortunately, the winners couldn't get together after COVID, but we did give the winners an age-appropriate tablet as their prize. We also worked closely with the Lackawanna County Library System for children's education through books about suffrage, which was a great success. And we also focused on a voter registration and voter program with our 40 community partners, with our grassroots nonprofit partners and our colleges and universities on that program, which we continue to do up until the November 1st to get people to cast their mail-in ballots or go to the polls. And we have been able to reach a substantial number of underserved women in this community to get them registered and encourage them to vote. And for that, we're very pleased. We were able to complete our fundraising before COVID hit. So we now have the happy decision of what to do with our funds. We had made the decision to become a nonpartisan, nonprofit fund within the Scranton Area Foundation. So the funds we have remaining there, we will be contributing to Women in Philanthropy, and that will be, we don't have the absolute totals yet, somewhere in the vicinity of $30,000 to go to Women in Philanthropy. And I'm just delighted, speaking for our team effort, to be able to do that this evening.
Thank you, Susan. We are so grateful to Women's Whistle Stop Scranton for this generous gift to women in philanthropy, and for championing empowerment and prioritizing civic engagement. These concepts were at the heart of our discussions when we all envisioned 6 years ago what Women in Philanthropy could be, and we're extremely grateful for the accomplishments of Women's Whistle Stop and our partnership together. So as we conclude our evening, I would like to make a few very brief announcements. In the spirit of women's leadership, I'd like to invite everyone to join Vision 2020's Women's Leadership Forum. This is a free event on November 4th where prominent women leaders will discuss gender equality and gender issues then and now via virtual panel discussions. And of course, please mark your calendars for Scranton Area Community Foundation's annual community celebration, which will be held virtually live on Wednesday, November 18th from 5 to 6 p.m. At that event, we'll look back at how our community has responded to the many needs during this challenging year. We'll celebrate our very generous donors, and we'll honor some incredible community partners and charitable funds. So tonight, on behalf of our Women in Philanthropy co-chairs and the Board of Governors at the Scranton Area Community Foundation, I thank you so very much for joining us this evening.